Good morning, Amani.
Good morning.
We have a light crowd here this morning for a number of reasons, one of which is that we have a group of people out at the Diamond Springs flea market today trying to sell the rest of our stuff. So we're really grateful for those of you who are here. So Sonia was going to be our music today, but she had a rough night with her son, and so I have a backup plan. So I am going to play you some different videos from some music that's been inspiring me right now. I was telling Reverend Sherry, my regular playlists are not doing it right now for me. I am needing this higher energy, very intense music. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today. I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I do. So here is the Matsani Youth Choir. They're a South African choir. And they're going to bring us in. Is still working? Okay. Well, I guess we're going to let the song in there because, y'all, this is something going on with your system. Oh. There it is. All right, so it's time for us to release the kids. So, what do we got today? Let's see, you got them. All right, so go have a good time, and we'll see you guys afterwards. All right, so welcome to the Amani Center. I'm sorry I have to stand at my computer because I need to get a new clicker. But let's say our vision statement together now. We are lighting the path to peace together. And so that is how we show up here at the Amani Center. I'm looking around, I think everybody here knows all of this, so I'm going to just keep going. And we don't have anyone who's first-timers that I can see, but if you're online and it's your first time and you'd like to receive some information from us, please DM us or just drop a note below, and we'd love to reach out to you. One of the ways we do that is our circle of light. Our ministers, our practitioners, here to remind you of the truth of who you are when you're going through the tough stuff, when you're bringing in the new stuff. So don't forget that we're here. We'd love to sit down with you. We'd love to do, we used to call it 1-minute miracles, affirmative prayer, science or spiritual mind treatment, whatever you call it. We want to sit down with you and help remind you of the truth of who you are. So if you're here and you're able to do treatment with anyone after service today, raise your hand. So I got Reverend Donna here, and myself, and Peggy's here too. So if you need some treatment, please see one of us. We'd love to do that for you. And if you're online and you're interested in that, you can DM us, drop us a note below, and we will reach out to you. All right, here's the announcements for this week. We are right in the middle of July, so we have the very wonderful Reverend Donna Apadoni speaking today. Always a joy to hear her, and then we will close out a month with Reverend Sherry Van, as always. That'll be next week. We are looking for some volunteers, so just an update. A lot of you have been seeing me all week because we've been over at the center sorting and selling and doing all kinds of stuff. We had a big yard sale yesterday and Friday. We cleared a lot of things out. Right now, Kathy and Lynn and Sarah, at least those three are at the Diamond Springs flea market selling some things too. There's a number of things sitting out front of the building with a QR code that if people want to take them and either make a donation or just take them, we're good with that too. So what we have to do is we have to be out by July 31st. So next weekend, on Friday and Saturday, will be our final push, and those will be the days that we really need everyone who can turn up between 9 and 11 a.m. both days. And we'll be loading things for thrift stores, for Snowline. We've been doing it in groups. Everyone fills their car and just takes off, so we'll be looking for people to do that. Some things have to go to the dump. My trailer's sitting over there filled with things right now, so we'll do some of that, trying to mitigate how much goes in the dump, especially if it's something that's useful to somebody, find ways to give it away or do whatever we can. But if you're able to help with that, and then the good news is we just got a broom sweep, so we just got to sweep everything out. We don't have to do a major cleaning on the space, but we do have to get all that stuff out so that we get a full deposit back so we can drop right into our new home fund, which is growing and growing right now, and that's really good news between the stuff we're selling and then just that we'll be able to be dropping our rent. We already paid our last month's rent. This is a much less expensive place, and then the other thing is we do have an insurance claim coming too from things that were destroyed. So that fund is building, and so that's very exciting for what's coming next. So if you can help with this, you can DM us, you can see me, or you can just show up either Friday 9 to 1 or Saturday 11 to 1, or both if that works. And then we're still looking for a few more people to foster items. So there are 3 large items at the center that we'd like to keep, and those are the butterfly desk, which is the big gray desk, and it's a standing desk. It could go in someone's garage, and it has shelves inside so you could store stuff on it. It's heavy, so we would not want someone to try to carry it into a place, but if there's something we could back a trailer up to or something and just put it there and you have a place for it, even if it was outside and we could cover it well, that would be really helpful. There's also the sound booth, which we'd like to save and have in a space, also a little bit heavy, and then the desk that was at the front entrance. And most of the other things have been fostered. So if you have maybe a garage space or a storage space where you'd be willing or able to store one of those items, that would be really helpful. And thank you to all the people who've already offered space. All right, that's hard to read. I don't even think that's supposed to be in there. Let's skip it. All right, well, I think I started the slide and I didn't finish it. That's what happened there. It's all coming back to me now. Some of the things that are still going on is our Staying Grounded 11/11. We're doing that. This will be our last week at the center, so we will be there on the patio, and then we will have a plan for where that's going to be afterwards. Probably my house occasionally, Kathy Tibble's house, and Reverend Sherry's, and perhaps somewhere else, but we will be doing it every week and as best we can. That is our intention. The acting workshop is next week. It'll be right here in the space, so we'll have potluck and then stay for that workshop. It's $50, and it's going to be amazing with Melanie Smith, and that's Carrie's wife. And then also next week is our cake contest. So this month was Who's Your Superhero was our theme. So we came up with this idea just for something fun. Make a cake, wear a cake, something that represents superpower that you have, or something that you aspire to, or something in the world that feels like something that is a superhero to you, that is inspiring you, that's lifting you right now. So whatever you come up with, get creative, do some art, glue some stuff to a sheet and tie it around your neck, whatever you want, but we'll have a little fun with that next week. So, and we do have some prizes. We have some leftover bingo prizes that Janet had picked up. I'm gonna see if some of those are appropriate. Clearing out the space, finding all these things. All right, full moon gathering. Moving forward, we're going to be doing these virtually for a while. We'll see how that goes. So July 29th is Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month. We will share the Zoom in the newsletter, or the e-class that you get each week. If you're signed up, so make sure you're signed up. You can go to the website and get it, and it's going to be on Facebook. So go ahead and join us that way for full moon. And then a new class will begin, led by Reverend Pixie DeFore, The Power of Prayer. That will start on August 5th, and it's going to be Wednesday for 9 weeks, and it's going to be a bit of a hybrid. So I believe it's going to be partially at Reverend Pixie's house or someone else's house, and partially via Zoom. And so it's a 2-hour-a-night class for 9 weeks, and it's $135 for that class, and that is a class that will work towards your practitioner license, if that's what you're going towards, or other things, ministerial, or just your own personal transformation, which is always really important. All right, that's it for the announcements. Thanks for silencing your phone. Let's go ahead and bless the service. So just sit up nice and straight in your seat. When you sit up nice and straight, you sort of open that chi flow within you. And so if it's comfortable, allow your eyes to close as you receive the cleansing breath in. Filling the lungs, filling the belly, and then release it. And do that 3 times. And that's how we clean house right inside us each time, to just put aside the clutter, put aside the to-do list, and become fully present in this divine instant, for this service that is about to unfold, that is here for you, to uplift you, to inspire you, to calm you, to center you, and to inform your soul and remind you of your absolute oneness with Spirit. And so as we're doing this today as the Amani Center, I know that there are people all around the planet right now doing the same thing in their own way. Whether it's people in nature, with their feet in the water, in the sand, in the forest, hugging a tree, looking up at the stars, doing math, doing things that light them up, things that inspire them, that are creative, that light up their joy from within and remind them of the oneness with the divine that created them, however that looks to you. And whatever format, whatever word you use, whether it's God or the universe or nature or science or whatever is right for you, we just support that and encourage you to go there right now, breathing into that space and knowing that all is well, that we are on this journey, and that when we do it together, we do it in community, we show up for each other, we are always okay. And so with great joy, with great honor, I release this word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is done, and that all is truly well. And together we say, and so it is. All right, so we are going to do our affirmation next. And this affirmation is brought to us by Reverend Don Appadone. We're going to say it 3 times. The first time in a strong voice with some energy. The second time we'll bring it into a whisper. Really let it drop into your heart and feel the meaning of it. And then the third time, just join me mentally as I speak it aloud. All right, here we go. I am the superhero I want to see in the world. I am the superhero I want to see in the world. I am the superhero I want to see in the world. And together we say, and so it is. All right, so we have another song, and this is a theme for today, is all is well. So the final song has that theme as well. But this is Avi Kaplan. He's a Californian, and I recently discovered him and have been really enjoying his music. So we'll let him lead us in the meditation.
I dove into the dark. I swear I almost drowned, but I could see the stars soul, all is well. I've landed in the light. My eyes can finally see the darkness in my mind was a path to set my spirit free. All is well, all is well. Heaven, hell, wherever I go, all is well in my soul, all is well.
It's the smoke, it's the flame, it's the action, it's the rain, it's the burn, wash away, it's the change, and it's the same. All is well, all is well.
Heaven, hell, wherever I go, all is well. Time will tell, I will know, all is well. My soul, all is well. Heaven, hell, wherever I go, all is well. My soul, all is well.
Alright, we're just going to let this music lead us into our meditation. So if it's comfortable, go ahead and allow your eyes to close. Again, sit up nice and straight so that you can feel that connection as if there was a light coming right out of your crown chakra, the top of your head, shooting up, and then coming right down inside, all the way through, down through your body and your toes, and then grounding into Mother Earth, so that you feel that groundedness, that connection to the planet, and also that insight, that light, that openness to the divine for your insights, for your, to be inspired, to be lifted, to be informed. And so from this place, we just breathe. Knowing that all is well, in spite of the things that are happening all around us, and to us, and to our loved ones, to our friends, to our family, to members of our community, members of the state, the nation, and the world. There is a lot going on right now, and yet we don't have to figure it all out. We don't have to figure out how it all works out. We find what's ours to do. How do we walk through this as a light, as a beacon, as a safe space for others, versus part of the chaos? What's mine to do today? What can I do to make a difference for myself, for my family, for friends, just for strangers on the street? What is mine to do? What am I called to do? So let's just ask this question. Let's put it out into the universe. And then as we go into our meditation, we allow a space for that answer to drop right in, so that it's clear to us what we're meant to be doing right now. Enjoy your meditation. And just knowing that if the clear answer hasn't dropped in for you yet, it will. You stay open and pay attention, be awake and aware, and what's yours to do will become clear. And so we'll stay a few more moments in this place of meditation, of connection, of quiet. And we bring forth a healing prayer for the world, a healing spiritual mind treatment, an affirmative prayer, a positive energy that we send out, that we focus our energy upon and expand out from this space. For anyone, anything, any place, any situation that is in struggle, challenge, chaos, fear, pain, hatred, conflict right now. And so I'm going to ask you to speak aloud the name or names of these people, these situations, these places in the world, this overall vibration that we want to shine a loving light of kindness and healing and empathy and love and a knowingness of it all as well. So go ahead right now and speak aloud the names of the places, the people, the situations, and include yourself if you need to. Feeling that filling of the room, feeling that energy shift as all of these situations and people are brought front of mind right here, where we can wrap our arms around them and remind them of the truth of who they are. Divine beings, divine situations brought through, in, and as the divine spirit, God, the universe, nature, science, whatever word you use for that energy that created us all and continues to unfold the world. And knowing that there is something bigger, something greater going on right now. For all of these people, all of these situations, and for us, and for all of humanity, all planets, all animal life, and going out beyond into the universe. And so we just remember the truth of this. We say yes to this. We make space to know that it's happening, even when it's hard, even when we struggle to remember that. We just say yes, or we just allow. And so I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you right now doing this important work, because this is part of why you're here. This is part of what's yours to do. And it's important. It's a big part. And I'm grateful to know that treatment works, affirmative prayer works, that our minds, our hearts, our energy is powerful, and that we can say yes to that upliftment, to that good, and release the things that we are done with, that are not serving, that are lower vibrational. So with great joy, with great gratitude, I release this word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is done and being made manifest right now. And together we say, and so it is. All right. So I've got another video for you for our main song. So this is the Baobab Roots Collective, and this is a song in Zulu, and it is Simhamba Siyoke, but which translates to we walk together. So enjoy this.
Sihamba
I just wanted to share some of the words with you on that, what they mean, that it's walk with us together, walk with us, we walk together. Our hands are joined, we walk together, our voices rise. Home is in the heart, where there is love. Our people, let's hold each other, today we live. There's a lot more words to it, but it's just so beautiful. So, with that, I'm going to bring up our speaker today, the wonderful Reverend Donna Abaddon.
Good morning, Amani.
Good morning.
That worked even better, huh? Yeah. Well, this topic of finding out who our superheroes are and bringing them to life and dressing up like them has changed so much in the last month because Marcy Mitchell moved to the top of my list. I've been watching what Marcy has been doing in these last few weeks, and she's always done so much for Amani. But there's so much happening behind the scenes that you all don't even see. So I want to move you right to the top of the list of superheroes today before anyone else. I am dressed today like the summer version of one of my favorite wintertime superheroes. And I had to sort of translate what the superhero looks like to make it appropriate for summer. Otherwise, I would have been sweating by now. I'm dressed like the summer version of the Ghost of Christmas Present from Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. It wasn't easy to do, but I just put together like the basics. You know, he always wore green. He always had something like fur or something fuzzy around his neck. Okay, you get a sweater instead. There's always some compromise involved. He would wear a wreath of holly around his head, and I couldn't find any holly at this time of year, but I could find a straw hat with a green scarf, so we've got that. Just, you have to make this superhero thing work any way you can. He was always had bells. He would have bells, and he always, that goes to the Christmas present, always shone a light wherever he was. How to do that too. Now, if you don't think the Ghost of Christmas Present is a superhero, you have really missed out on something. Because think about what the ghost did. That particular ghost gave us some very special gifts. He gave us the gift of the present, Christmas present, but not a Christmas present, not the kind you give, not the kind you exchange, the present tense. He reminded Scrooge to live in the present tense, to just focus on now, not think about regrets and things that have already happened, not worry about the future and things that we can't possibly do anything about. Just stay on the present. And in my book, that makes him a superhero right there. And some core values that he brought to us were joy and light. I want to look at the core values. I want you to look at the core values of who your superheroes are. You don't like them for how they dress, thank goodness. You don't like them for any other reason. But you want to know what their core values are to see how they stand out and how they stand up as your superheroes. I have a couple of other superheroes, people who never wore capes at all. One of them actually had curly blonde hair and wore a trench coat and a hat and played the harp, and you know what I'm talking about here? Harpo Marx. Definitely one of my superheroes. I fell in love with Harpo Marx when I was in college. I was studying film production, and every once in a while the professors would show a series of films that they thought represented a certain genre of film or a certain production style. And as soon as they showed me the Marx Brothers, I knew who they were, but I'd never really watched their work before then. As soon as they started showing those films, I was done. I was gone. That was it. The humor and the costumes and the timing of everything that they did. As film production, even in that day, in that era, it wasn't all that great or stellar, but the humor was. The technical aspect of what they gave us was really something. So that year, in college, I started dressing like Harpo Marx for Halloween. And I still do it every other year. It's still one of my favorite costumes because he's still one of my favorite superheroes. And it's kind of funny, when I dress up like that, people say, that's pretty funny, John, because now you can't talk for the rest of Halloween because he was a silent character. So it is kind of odd that a person who talks for a living would have a silent person as a superhero. But that's not what I liked about him. I liked his smile, which was absolutely infectious. It's hard to even look at Harpo in some of his routines without just laughing at how silly he was willing to look. His use of visual puns was on point. He always had it. And he knew how to get out of trouble when everyone was getting into trouble. The police would come and or the rich lady would come and round up all the people who were causing trouble, and Harpo would just nip out the back door. He had such a knack for that. I also had a wonderful opportunity a couple of years ago. It was National Opera Day. And everybody who had anything to do with opera was supposed to put together a video and post it online. So it's out there somewhere, I'm sorry to tell you. I dressed up as Harpo Marx and I mimed Donna Immobile from Rigoletto. It turned out to be much funnier than any of us expected. And I don't get to act very often, so I was really to do that. Harpo was also a trained classical harpist. Probably self-trained more than professionally trained. But to find that character and to find that person with kind of a rough background who found his way into this character and then find out he was such a talented classical musician. He played the fool on screen, but that was just a cover for some real talent, for some real shrewdness, for some real cleverness, and for some real talent that he had. off screen, when the wig and the hat came off, people said he was just the most lovely person, intelligent, actually intellectual, and so joyous to be with and very generous too. So Harpo Marx is one of my heroes. There is another wonderful hero who I couldn't pass up talking about because he's one of my favorites. I love Kermit. I absolutely love Kermit. You know why I love Kermit? I used to do a really good Kermit impersonation. I won't spare you that today. But Kermit just had such a wonderful way about him. Now, they didn't have Sesame Street when I was a kid. Maybe that was true for some of you too. So I knew about the Muppets because they were kind of a local puppet troupe in the area where I lived when I was really little. They existed then. But Sesame Street, I didn't know about that until I was in college either. Just this great discovery. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is just so much fun. And the very first time I saw Kermit, I remember distinctly, he was on Sesame Street, and he was having a conversation with a little kid, a human kid. And the conversation was about what frogs do. And they started talking about where frogs live, and of course Kermit said, well, they live in high-rises, right? And the kid said, no, they live in swamps. And Kermit was appalled by that. And then the kid said, well, what do frogs eat? And Kermit said, pizza. And the kid said, no, that's not what frogs eat. Frogs eat bugs. And he got a real sour look on his face, the sort of Kermit snarl that he did. Kermit was just so wonderful at playing the role of the producer when he wasn't on Sesame Street or was on the Muppet Show. What a great thing to do, to be able to be that producer, because no matter what went wrong, and lots went wrong trying to produce the Muppet Show, if you remember that storyline, a lot of things went wrong, but Kermit, even when he lost his cool, he managed to bring people together. And that's a great talent. That's a superhero talent for sure. He brought people together as he entertained us. And that's a pretty important thing to do. I guess my real superhero in that particular case isn't necessarily the frog, but the man behind the frog, or the man under the frog. Jim Henson and Carol Spinney and Frank Oz, those people who brought us the Muppets, who taught us so much about lessons and about entertainment and how they intersect, brought all that fur to life. You know, it's not easy to bring fur to life and make all of those things seem real. That's one of the things, by the way, that I really like about Kermit is that he was real. He was real. I mean, he was fur, he was felt, he was eyes stuck on, but he was real in his personality and in his character. And even when he was falling apart trying to produce the Muppet Show, even when things were crazy and the slides weren't in the right order and the video didn't work, even when all of those things were going on for Kermit, he kept his cool, he brought people together, and he told us that it was okay to be frustrated. He told us that it's okay to be real. He gave us permission to be real. And that's one of those things that I love about superheroes. They teach us that. Grover, by the way, if we were going to talk about another Muppet named Grover, he would love this theme because he often wore a cape and was Super Grover, so he would love this too. Because it's July and because we just had our 250th birthday as a country, I feel like I should bring up a couple of other heroes who are on my list of heroes. I'm a fan of both John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Even though they have a lot of shortcomings, and I don't excuse those, I still look at what they did and what they were able to accomplish and awe of. I mean, I really can't imagine how they did everything they did in just a matter of years. Not a few years, I mean, it took 10 or 20 years to really get all of that going. But I mean, they got it done. They got it done, and they did a great job, and they took major risks for what they did. But I still think, and I know I've mentioned this to you in years past, I still think that the real heroes of the American Revolution were not the founding fathers, they were the founding mothers. They were the people who stayed behind and ran everything. Abigail Adams in particular has a place in my heart for what she did. I mean, think about this. You're running a little farm in Massachusetts, and your husband goes off to Philadelphia, which was not a short ride on a horse. Goes off to Philadelphia because he had this crazy notion that he wants to start a country. And what do you say? You say, oh, I think if I were Abigail Adams, I might roll my eyes just a little bit at that. But she did it. She went along with it. She kept the farm running. She kept everything. She raised the family while he was gone. And of course, to have freedom, sometimes there is war involved. That was the case for them too. So that added something because the Adams farm was on a main road. Still, the building is still there. The house is still there, and it's on. It gets even more traffic than it did then. But being on a main road, not only was she keeping everything going, but the soldiers were going back and forth all the time right in front of her house. To the battles, from the battles, it was an ongoing thing. Not all of the founding mothers were on farms, a lot of them were in cities, but in the 1770s, that wasn't very luxurious either. So they did a lot. And these were the days when there was a smallpox epidemic. Out in the colonies, they had measles, they had tuberculosis, they had typhus, they had all of those things to contend with, and only half of the adults in the household were available to help. And an interesting thing happened along the way. That Abigail Adams became one of the best advisors her husband ever had. Not only because she was just as smart as him, maybe even smarter, but he was a hot-headed guy. He really had sort of an excitable boy, is what the words he would have said. He had quite a personality, and she was so level-headed that they kept up with each other intellectually, but she was the balance for him in terms of the personality. So in her letters, we found out a lot about what she was going through. She was very clear when she was writing to her husband and he was writing back. She was very clear about what women of that era needed, what they needed to get through day to day, what they needed to get through the war, what they needed to start a new country. How do you do that if you're a woman in that situation? And she wrote it all out in her letters to her husband, so we have a record of that. And it's interesting that she would take in that idea, that new concept of freedom no matter what, even though she was not totally involved in it in the way that he was. Not only did she write long and interesting letters to her husband, but she and Thomas Jefferson became pen pals. And very interesting letters went back and forth. Somebody fortunately saved all those letters and published them together. It's a really good read. So those are a few of the heroes from that period of time. And they're a good reflection. I think all of our heroes are a good reflection of what we find important. That's why we hold them up. That's what we're looking for. It resonates with us, who they are and what they do. Good reflections of what we find important. Harpo being nobody's fool at all, just pretending that he was so that we could laugh, so that we could be entertained. Jim Henson and his crew really doing some hard physical work as well as all of the writing and all the creativity that went into that, teaching generations of kids lessons that are sticking with them for life. That was a lot to even attempt, let alone succeed at. And John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, totally opposite personalities, those two, but they did something, along with a lot of colleagues of theirs. They did something. Think about it. We're still talking about them 250 years later. Not too many of us will have that accomplishment. And the founding mothers working behind the scenes to represent women, talk about women's rights. Talk about something that was really a little ahead of their time in a lot of ways. And it really wasn't until I was writing this talk that I realized they all had something else in common. They were all really good writers. So maybe I appreciated that about them and didn't realize it at the time. We have this era of influencers. Influencers. Who is an influencer? You know, the first name that comes to my mind is Kardashian. Why are these people influencers? Why do people rise to the top in some public's opinion? Why do we hold them up? What is it that they represent? We have to be very careful about choosing our superheroes so that we can help other people choose theirs. We want to help people understand who they are, and we can do that by modeling, and we can do that by carefully selecting our own superheroes. We have to stand out from what we think is popular and look a little bit more closely at what's important. Heroes inspire us and we admire them. We learn from their strengths and hopefully we even admit their shortcomings. We know that our superheroes are not important, or not beyond mistakes in their lives. Some of them wear capes, some of them don't. Some of them wrote books, most of them didn't. But we admire them anyway because they gave us a pattern to follow. We look at our superheroes and we say, yeah, I want to be like that. When we identify our heroes, we look at what they bring. What do they bring? The founders brought courage and focus and determination. And they let us see possibility, not just the possibility of a new country, but they let us look at ourselves and say, oh, I'm capable of more than I thought I was. That's good, I'll follow that. And they model trust in each other. Every year, I think about that last line in the Declaration of Independence. We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortune, and our sacred honor. That's big. A lot of people don't even get to the end, don't reach the last sentence in that document. But what a promise they made to each other, what a promise they made to us. And now we get to be the superheroes, and we get to carry that forward in our own way. What is that reality? Real enough to show us his frustration, giving us permission to be real. These are their core values. This is what they model for us to follow. Fargo bringing us that subtle humor and fabulous music, and pretty much all of them showing generosity of spirit. Generosity of spirit. That should be the goal for all of us. To show generosity of spirit at the level of superheroes. I'm not sure I've done that so far. So I need to start. And I encourage you to take it from here as well. More important than identifying the heroes is being one. I'm not sure that I had thought about that too much until last summer. Christy Yamaguchi was in town and I had a chance to talk to her, and I asked, how did you feel the first time you realized that you were a role model for young skaters? And she kind of brushed it off and she said, oh, everybody's a role model for someone. Wow, everybody's a role model for someone. Had you really thought about that? Someone's always watching you. Someone's always watching me. So that's the kind of thought that I want to leave you with today when we're talking about superheroes. How can you be a hero? How can you be that person who, when people look at you, say, oh, yeah, I can be more like that. It's a fabulous goal to be able to show generosity of spirit in everything we do, but it's an easy thing to accomplish if you think about it. Generosity of spirit is the easiest core value of all to live with. We can't go around acting like superheroes all the time. My flying skills are not what they used to be. I don't know about you. But we can always remember that we're serving as an example for someone. Someone is always watching. And paraphrasing Gandhi, we can all be the hero we want to see in the world. And together we say, and so it is. And so we allow it to be.
Thank you, everyone. All right, now it is our joyful time of giving, our time to support the Amani Center with our gifts and tithes. There are multiple ways that you can give. We'll pass baskets in a moment. We have the QR code for Venmo. There are some white seat backs in the room with those codes that you can scan if you want to give digitally. You can always set up that recurring donation right through your bank, so it comes directly to the Amani Center. We're probably going to have to get you a new address, though. So I'll tell Kathy to work on that, but we'll get it forwarded. And you can always go to the AmaniCenter.org and hit that donate button. However you give, we just appreciate it. We are building something here together. We're always showing up to be in service. That's our goal. We're not trying to make money. No one's getting rich through the Amani Center, not in a financial way, but hopefully their souls are being lifted, their hearts are being lifted. And right now, we are looking to bring in a new home for the center, a place that feels comfortable and cozy. And as much as we love that last space, even better with trees and grass and wonderful outdoor spaces and indoors. So everything's going to be focused on that right now. So whatever you're able to do, we just so appreciate you. And I do have another video. So this one is one of my favorites, and I can't play the whole thing because it's like 13 minutes. But this has been my hype music. Frank will probably attest to this lately. And it is put on. It's the composer is Christopher Tim, and it's a song that he wrote, and it is in the Lango language of northern Uganda. And the title, which is Waleo Yomoni, translates to "We Overcome the Wind." And some of you may have seen this because it's on social media, but it's such a powerful piece of music. And so this is Christopher Ten, and it's at the London Cadogan Hall, and it has, I'll give you some of the lyrics, but essentially they're saying, we desire the rain to fall, we overcome the wind, and then if the women rejoice, if the children rejoice, if the aged rejoice, if everyone rejoices, then all is well. And you'll hear that very often. They say bebe, that means all is well. So enjoy this beautiful video. It's just a clip from it, because again, I can't really put a 13-minute video on right now. And it's the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra with the Angel City Choral. All right, here we go. Wait, why is my sound? Here we go, right, we're starting again. So I encourage you to find that and watch the whole thing, because it's just so good. All right, I think our kids are here. Oh wait, we received those gifts. Thank you. on behalf of the Amani Center, it is my great joy, my great honor to receive these gifts and tithes on behalf of the center. I know they are pressed down and multiplied. They are going out to bless you who are giving them, and they are blessing the center, and then going out to bless the world. And so we are in flow. And so with great gratitude for all of you and for this center, together we say, and so it is. Thank you. All right, now let's bring those kids up. All right. All right, Alyssa, tell us what y'all did today.
So we read bucket filling A to Z and talked about what we can do to fill our buckets and what we can do to help fill other people's buckets, and then what we should do when people dip into our buckets and how to avoid dipping into others' buckets. It was a lot. It was a lot. So Lexi drew her bucket and things that fill her bucket. Show them what fill your bucket. The heart, love, and play. And then Delaney and I talked about what we do to fill our buckets. And do you want to talk about what fills your bucket? No, okay. Is it okay if I'll share what fills your bucket? Okay, thank you. Okay, so for Delaney, it's listening to Michael Jackson music and dancing to his music and doing karaoke. And Lexi said playing in the grass with her friends and having fun and things they could do to fill other people's buckets or to cheer them up. And we helped fill buckets out there by cleaning up some messes that we saw and making it better than we found it. And our affirmation for the day was, my actions make a difference and I spread love wherever I go.
That sounds like a workshop right there. All right. That's awesome. Thank you guys. And thanks for cleaning up. That's so important. That's what we're talking about. What's mine to do? And when you just see one thing you can do to make the world better, you do it. What's better than that? Okay, well, let's all stand. Alyssa, will you come up and help me lead our closing song? Reach out, grab a hand. All right, here we go. The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. I will meet you in grace. Go out, meet each other in grace, find what's yours to do, and just do it. And together we say, and so it is. Thanks, everybody. If you want to go over by the center, there's a bunch of stuff still out there. You can take it for free. You can take some.
Molly Hayes McCauley.
One of the thrift stores.
You know who that is?
is?
Molly Hayes McCauley.
Yeah.
So she married a barber a few years before the Revolutionary War started, and like so many, went wives and daughters and children and adults and whatever, young adults, whatever, went with their parent or uncle or grandparent out to fight, right, or support them. And then, so Molly Hayes McCauley was supporting her husband, who was on the artillery side, and brought all the water to everybody.
Molly Pitcher.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you know when you said her name, I thought, I know I've heard it. In fourth grade, I read a book about Molly Pitcher.
That's what reminded me when you brought up